My apologies.
So you have mental problems, and yet you still take a position of certainty?
Would you consider fibromyalgia a mental illness?
Is it a mental illness?
Why don't you look it up before you accuse me of having a mental illness?
So, Joy has confused the issue by bringing up the term fibromyalgia. So now Joy is going to be focused on the term fibromyalgia. Onision, being the flip side of that coin, he has focused himself on mental illness. So his argument is always going to be rooted into mental illness. Now, he brings up the definition of a mental illness. What is a mental illness? Something that makes your brain in some way deficient is a mental illness. Whatever it is that slows your brain down in whatever capacity that it slows it down, that is a mental illness. Is he right? Yes! Survey says yes! Fibromyalgia is a nervous disorder. Is Joy right? Yes. Is the brain a part of the nervous system? Yes. Are there side effects of fibromyalgia that make your brain deficient? Yes. Is that considered a mental illness? Yes. So, Joy is trying to pull it off into fibromyalgia is not a mental illness. Onision is saying anything that affects your brain is a mental illness. They're both technically right, and Joy's technically wrong. But Onision is more technically right than Joy is technically right. Because Onision's pretty much right. And Joy's technically wrong. I don't know. I'm not looking up fucking fibromyalgia. Like I said, I don't have a horse in the race. But nevertheless, it is a mental illness. Fuck it.
You seem mentally unstable. Why are you laughing and moving around like a wild person?
Honey, because I honestly
Can you
enjoy...
sit still?
I love this. You are so much fun. Okay, so here's the thing. Commercial use for anybody's child, you have to have a contract with the parent if you're going to use it for commercial use. Since you made money off of it, that's commercial use. You didn't do an apology as a parent. Is that video even up? You had it up for months and you made lots of money on it. I haven't checked. I don't know.
Here's the thing. Making money with YouTube is a variable. Sometimes you can actually make $0 on a video depending on the content. So you actually don't know.
No, I do, because this is the kind of work that I did. I absolutely do know.
No, so you literally don't know because you have no proof of one way or the other.
I have your videos downloaded, sweetheart. We all have proof.
That's not proof of financial earnings. That's what we're talking about, Joy.
But you had ads on it, and if it needed to be,
but you don't know how many ads even ran on it.
Then what we can do is I can contact the parents.
You have no idea.
So we can hold on one second, Onision. Oh, okay, hold on one second. I'm having a tech thing. Okay. Sorry, give me just 1 second. I think I figured it out.
You love tech things.
Okay, there we go. Give me just a second. Ah, stupid tech stuff.
So, we're going through the uncut video. He cut most of that out because it's her fucking around with something. What's going on? I don't know. It's you now. There's problems. It's weird. Is it set up? Is it fake? Is it something that Joy's doing to whatever? I don't know. But it is just odd. It cools down the conversation. And if it was something that was unnecessary to deal with, if it's a goddamn chat, you know what I mean? Like, fucking ignore the fucking thing. Still pay attention to what you're doing. You know, that's what I fucking hate about these goddamn live streams. Everybody's always fucking around with the technology. And in a situation like this, if it was unnecessary and she knew it was unnecessary, then I'd say he's got a good case for saying she was fucking with it to cool down the conversation some, which is Weasley. If it was like her whole fucking screen blacked out and she couldn't hear shit anymore, that's a whole fucking different thing. So I don't know. But it's a question.
Okay, so guys, so Onision, here's the thing though. So what you're saying is I can't prove what you
can
heard.
call me Greg. My name is Greg.
Well, I'm Midwestern. This is just how I talk. I'll try to remember. Sometimes I have memory issues.
It's a very simple 4-letter word.
Yes, and I also have memory issues, and that's a thing too. So my
So
apologies.
you have mental problems, and yet you still take a position of certainty?
Would you consider fibromyalgia a mental illness?
Is it a mental illness?
Why don't you look it up before you accuse me of having a mental illness?
Well, you just said that you have memory issues, which is directly connected to your...
Alright, so we're back caught up, moving on.
Well, you just said that you have memory issues, which is directly connected to your brain.
Having a memory issue from an illness is different than a mental illness.
You can't remember a 4-letter word after I tell you it. Greg. My name is Greg. You can call me Greg. It's simple.
It's very simple, but everybody has different weaknesses, and one that I'm
You can't
telling you
even remember
about.
a name, Greg. So you have a mental illness, and you're going out attacking other people despite knowing you have a mental illness. Doesn't that seem a little bit irresponsible?
See, in court terms, what they call this is attacking the credibility of the witness. He's now saying that she is somehow mentally deficient, and therefore her points can't really be trusted because who even knows what she actually knows? She could be pulling shit out of her ass. And the fact that most of what she's saying, so far at least, sounds like she's pulling shit out of her ass, that doesn't fucking help. So it's a good tactic. You know what I mean? It's kind of weaselly. We're still not actually discussing anything of any substance yet. Has anybody noticed that? We're discussing all the new issues that have just recently happened. We're not actually getting into really. We're dancing around it, but we're jumping fucking all over the place. Got to keep the conversation moving. Got to keep it going every different direction, because that way nobody can ever really get a consistent thought process on anything that's actually going on. It's a very interesting tactic, and it's really interesting to watch the both of them fucking do it to each other. Like, it's so weird.
Hey, chat guys, I know Onision likes facts. Can you guys please pull up the definition of fibromyalgia and let him know that fibromyalgia or any other autoimmune
You
illness...
just admitted that you have a problem with your brain, which is what I would call an illness. Normally, if you have a problem with yourself physically, mentally, whatever, it's considered an illness. It's basic
The problem is
logic.
not with my brain. No. So you
Cool.
don't understand what you're talking about again.
Can you explain why you were begging me to sue you?
You said either you're going to sue me or I need to debate you, and I would rather
No,
have you
that's
sue
not
me.
what
See, we're jumping topics like crazy, because you got to keep it moving. Otherwise, you get too consistent of a thought process on it, and Joy might straighten herself out and fucking realize that she's arguing about non-issues for no reason other than the fact that Onision is just leading her by the fucking nose here. Mismanagement of this whole fucking discussion is ridiculous.
I said.
3, 2, 1.
Now, essentially, to sum all that up, from what I'm just gathering from the context of the way they're talking about it, it seems to me like Joy is pretty much trolling Onision. Onision is threatening us. Onision's perspective is this. This chick is fucking all over me. It's getting weird. I don't like it. I want her to stop. That's his fucking opinion on the subject. Right or wrong, that's where he's coming from. He went to the police. They said, you can sue her. We can't arrest her because she's not actually doing anything. We can't stop her from making YouTube videos. His lawyer said, you can sue her, but it's really tough it's really, really difficult to prove defamation and things of that nature. And you can't really say she's stalking you because she's just making a lot of videos about you on YouTube. So your possibilities of winning this case are pretty much fucking not all that fantastic. So your only choice really is to just ask her to fucking leave you alone. You know, clear out whatever dispute you have with her and fucking get her to agree to just go different ways. That's your only choice in these types of situations. So he's like, look, I don't want to have to sue you because, you know, while there's every chance I might lose, there's still a chance I might win. Because shit that Joy's doing can be spun by a decent lawyer can make this look criminal enough. You know what I mean? Beyond a shadow of a doubt? Maybe not. Could he convince a judge of it? Maybe. You know what I mean? You never quite know. So, but he's saying, I don't want to have to sue you to get you to go away. I want to talk to you to get you to go away. Joy thinks it's hysterical because Joy's like, fucking sue me, bitch. You can't prove anything. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just making videos about you. Now, a decent lawyer can put the shadow of doubt in a jury in there. Can he convince a judge of that? Maybe. Who knows? But nevertheless, he's serious and she's fucking with him. So the point of contention here is, why do you want me to sue you so badly? It's weird that you would say you want me to sue you. And she's saying, I want you to sue you because fuck you. I'd just love to see you try it, bitch. He's serious. She's not. There's a disconnect there. And it adds an element to it, I think. It adds a very interesting element to it. You know what I mean?
You said either you're going to sue me or I need to debate you, and I would rather
No,
have you
that's
sue
not
me.
what I said. That's not what I said.
I did a video about this. You did. You did.
Now, that's funny the way she says, I did a video about this, so you did. It's not really how it works. I watched the video that he made, and he essentially said what I just said. Talk to the cops, talk to the lawyer, everybody said talk to her. So I want to talk to her, because I don't want to have to sue you. I will sue you if you don't fucking talk to me, because it's the only other fucking choice I have, but I don't want to have to do that. Talk to me. He's right. She's kind of twisting it and turning it into debate me or I'll sue you. So she's kind of making it sound like the lawsuit would be, you didn't sue me, so let's go to court over that. But the lawsuit, from his perspective, is you're stalking me, and I'm going to put some sort of restraining order on you. And I'm going to sue you for that. You know what I mean? So it would be a landmark case, putting a virtual restraining order. You cannot make so many videos within so many, whatever. I don't know how it would work out. But nevertheless, that's what he's talking about. He's not talking about what she's talking about. She's confusing the issue in her head again. Maybe it's that fibromyalgia.
But let's go back to fibromyalgia.
Unfortunately, you're a liar.
Fibromyalgia.
See, gotta keep the subject going. Gotta keep changing it up. Can't get too on the same subject for too long. He's calling it out. Forget the fact that he does it too through the course of the whole fucking thing. But nevertheless, now she's doing it, so it's time to make an issue of it.
You just lied about fibromyalgia. 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 I am about let's go back to fibromyalgia.
Unfortunately, you're a liar.
You just lied about fibromyalgia. 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 Hold on. I know you like definitions. I'll pull up the definition.
Now he's playing coy a little bit here. She's saying, let's go back to what we were talking about earlier. She wants to change the subject back to whether or not fibromyalgia is or is not a mental disorder. He's rewinding back to just before that to just say, where was it where I said anything about fibromyalgia? Well, no, she's going back to the conversation about fibromyalgia. Nevertheless, why is she going back to the conversation about fibromyalgia? She's pretty much lost that one. It's fucking with her brain. That's a mental problem. So she wants to go back to that because she wants to get out of this discussion. Why? If your argument is solid, you don't want to leave a discussion. So why is she changing the subject?
Definition of fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is not a mental illness. Fibromyalgia has to do with nerve pain, which also one of the symptoms is brain fog.
Now she says here that it's a nervous disorder. The brain is part of the nervous system. So any nervous disorder will inevitably affect the brain, which makes it a mental illness. Now, she might be thinking of mental illnesses like psychopathy or fear of heights You know what I mean? Like, she might be thinking of it in that respect. He's thinking of it in the more clinical respect. But then again, that's, you know, that's a way to just kind of fog the issue to where you can inevitably say, I was right because I'm talking about this. And he can say, well, I was right because I'm talking about this. But it's still just, it's weaselly. They're both partaking in weaselly shit to just get away from the topics because neither of them really want to talk about the topics.
A lie is consciously saying something you know isn't true.
Why we needed that, I'll never understand, but fucking he loves to throw up definitions of shit, so whatever.
And no way did I consciously say fibromyalgia is an illness and then know it's true in the process.
Fibromyalgia. Okay, what is the
definition? Stuff you're doing isn't going to work for you today.
You just tried to gaslight and say that fibromyalgia is a mental illness.
See, he's got her on that, man. She's confusing the fucking issue. Which just damages her perspective again, because it makes her look fucking raving crazy. Because she's not understanding what he's fucking talking about, because she wants to talk about what she wants to talk about, or she's having a bad fibromyalgia day. I don't know. But we're going to go back and catch up to where we're at. We're going to look through the fucking actual uncut video just to fact check, just to make sure everybody's honest.
Brain.
Having a memory issue from an illness is different than a mental illness.
You can't remember a 4-letter word after I tell you it. Greg. My name is Greg. You can call me Greg. It's simple.
Greg, it's very simple, but everybody has different weaknesses, and one that I'm
telling
telling
you about. Remember a name, Greg. So you have a mental illness, and you're going out attacking other people despite knowing you have a mental illness. Doesn't that seem a little bit irresponsible?
Hey, chat guys, I know Onision likes facts. Can you guys please pull up the definition of fibromyalgia and let him know that fibromyalgia or any other autoimmune illness...
You just admitted that you have a problem with your brain, which is what I would call an illness. Normally, if you have a problem with yourself physically, mentally, whatever, it's considered an illness. It's basic.
The problem is not with my brain. No, see, you don't understand what you're talking about again.
Can you explain why you were begging me to sue you?
You said either you're going to sue me or I need to debate you, and I would rather have you sue me.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
I did a video about this. You did, Greg. But let's go back to fibromyalgia. You just lied about fibromyalgia. You just lied about fibromyalgia. You just lied about fibromyalgia. Hold on. I know you like definitions. I'll pull up the definition of fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is not a mental illness. Fibromyalgia has to do with nerve pain, which also one of the symptoms is brain fog.
A lie is consciously saying something you know isn't true. And no way did I consciously say fibromyalgia is an illness and then know it's true in the process.
Fibromyalgia. Okay, what is the
definition? Stuff you're doing isn't going to work for you today.
You just tried to gaslight and say that fibromyalgia is a mental illness. You did it with certainty and is a...
Now, one thing that you kind of notice when you see it uncut, she's doing this, like, kind of snotty, bratty... Let's go back to fibromyalgia. Let's go back to... You're just repeating that shit over and over. Just being fucking annoying. And he's, like I said, she thinks this is hysterical. She thinks this is all very funny. He's being very fucking serious about this. So when she does that kind of stuff because she's having a good time just fucking around with him, it makes her look crazy because he's very calm about this. He's very serious. This is not a joke to him. And she's making light of this. And for my part, I mean, me personally, if I was in his position and somebody was repeatedly making videos about me, calling me a pedophile, and then when I talk to them, they're fucking acting like this to me, I would probably be pretty fucking pissed about that shit too. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. She's involved herself so much into it, and she thinks it's so goddamn funny because he's just such a meme that she just thinks this is hysterical, and he really is considering this real fucking life. Like, he's talking, so say what you want to, is he serious about it or not, who fucking knows, but he looks like he's pretty serious. So she's not really dealing with it in the same spirit he's dealing with it, so it's kind of easy for him to make her look nuts. But at the same time, she's giving him everything that he needs to make her look nuts.
I did it with certainty and as a fact.
I literally didn't say fibromyalgia is an illness. I said that you losing your memory is probably part of an illness, considering that's not normal to lose the memory of someone's name.
You said it's connected to my brain. It's a mental illness. You sat here and said, so you're admitting you have a mental illness. Come on, Greg.
Right.
Okay, Greg, what is it?
What that is. This is you begging me to sue you. You say,
I told you I would
but
rather
I want to be sued. I've literally said multiple. Did you not release all the texts? You only released the ones that like were convenient for you. Is that what really happened?
Every single one, but you.
All right. Now I've studied this. He's going into facial tics, things of that nature. This is the thing I've actually put effort into studying. Now, one thing I noticed the second time round when I was recording this, she looks up and to the right a lot. Now, usually it looks like she's looking up and to the right because she's looking at something. She's focusing on it. Now, you would say that that's kind of a baseline. If she's looking up, what does it look like when a person's looking up and to the right because they're just looking up and to the right to think? Because people do sometimes do that. You know, people look around all over the fucking place. Just in that, I just looked at fucking right there. You know what I mean? So, but that is kind of establishing a baseline every time she kind of does this nonchalant look up and to the right, where she's kind of, it looks like she's focusing on something somewhere, you know, off. When she does it here, and he slow-mo's it, it is a quick fleeting glance. There is a difference there. Now, it's a problem because this sort of thing doesn't hold up in court. If this was a court case, which it seems all the world that he's trying to make here, it doesn't really hold up. That kind of science is still considered fringe science. It's nothing that anybody really takes seriously because there just hasn't been enough research into it yet. There hasn't been enough definitive evidence of things. And it's too variable. You know what I mean? So, to use this as a point is interesting to bring up. You know, it's thought-provoking to bring up. It makes you wonder. But to bring it up as a, here it is, she's fucking lying, here's your fucking proof, it falls short of actual proof. But there's a lot of people that would go, that's proof. You be the judge.
For you, is that what really happened? Every single one, but you. For you, is that what really happened? Every single one, but you.
For you, is that what really happened?
Every single one, but you.
For you, is that what really happened?
Every single one, but you.
For you, is that what really happened?
Every single one, but you.
For you, is that what really happened?
Every single one, but you.
Now, it can be argued that when you're doing that in order to lie, you're looking up and thinking about it while you're doing it. Another reason why not really definitive. So what are you gonna do? But that's as far as I cared to get into it because, like I said, I mean we're over an hour right now. God damn it! So you know this I could do 3-4 hours on this probably if I went through the whole goddamn thing, and it's all the same thing over and over again. They're quickly and rapidly changing the subject and moving all over the place. They're discussing, you know, points of innuendo about just semantics through most of it. But, you know, I encourage you to watch the uncut video. I encourage you to watch Greg's version of the video with all of his little annotations. I encourage you to watch whatever it is that Joy says about it. I don't even know. I didn't watch it. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't really matter because Joy is going to go from the perspective of I was just fucking with him and this was just a good time for me. and I won because, you know, I got him with whatever, you know. But at the end of the day, nobody fucking wins. The only people that wins is the audience. The audience wins. They don't win. How did they win? Who won in that? They both fucking looked weaselly as all hell. They both were just not even really answering questions. Every time it would kind of wind, the discussion would wind itself towards coming to an answer, they'd switch to a different topic. They're both doing that shit with each other about, oh man, you know, she brings up a topic, he says something about it, winds up to almost getting to a point, and then changes the subject. And then on that subject, she says a whole bunch of stuff about it, winds up towards getting to a point, and then fucking changes the subject. And it just goes back and forth like that, and they never really get anywhere. Nothing's really resolved. She didn't even fucking care, really. She just wanted to fuck around with him. And after a while, he just up and leaves. And then she talks to Lainey for a while, and it was kind of fucking ridiculous because she's like, I don't know, it came off to me like she was uncomfortably trying to like make friends with Lainey. And Lainey was having fucking none out of that shit. So, and she wasn't really taking it serious when she was talking to Lainey either. And Lainey is taking this very seriously. So, it's bad form on Joy's part pretty much all around. It's bad form. She didn't handle it very well. She could have dug into Onision with the points that she wanted to fucking get out of Onision and not let her lead her around the fucking yard and just fucking... And I mean, every time Joy changes the subject, she's changing the subject to some ridiculous fucking thing Onision's brought up. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Fucking... Nobody cares about fucking fibromyalgia. Nobody's been waiting for months and months and months for you guys to finally interact with each other, to hear you argue about whether or not fibromyalgia is a fucking mental disorder. Really? Like... But anyways, whatever. So... I encourage you to watch it. It's entertaining as fuck. Like I said, the audience wins. We're all winners. I just think it's funny to dissect it. I'm going to show the last little bit to get us caught up to where it is, and then we're fucking done. I'm wrapping it up here, my part at least. So, yeah. I hope you have a good day. I hope this was insightful. I hope that you leave comments in the comments section. Let's discuss it. I'd love to hear what you think. Am I biased? That's a big question. Do I come off as biased in all this? Because I don't want to come off as biased in all this. I dislike them both kind of equally at this point. But, so, whatever. Take that for what you may. Have a good day. Roll the last clip.
I literally didn't say fibromyalgia is an illness. I said that you losing your memory is probably part of an illness, considering that's not normal to lose the memory of someone's name.
You said it's connected to my brain. It's a mental illness. You sat here and said, so you're admitting you have a mental illness. Come on, Greg.
Right.
Okay, Greg, what is it?
This is you begging me to sue you. You say,
I told you, I've been
but I want to be sued. I've literally said multiple. Did you not release all the texts? You only released the ones that like were convenient for you? Is that what really happened?
Every single one, but
you.